There's a reason you've been feeling a little off lately. You see all the chaos on television. Countries at war, people being divided, relationships collapsing like never, chaos and stress in everything. This is maybe normal for the majority, but you feel like something is shifting, but no one around you seems to see it. There's a weight in the air, a quiet tremor beneath the noise of the world. And you feel it, even if you can't explain it in words. If this resonates, I invite you to comment your experience. Let this be a space where wisdom finds its way through testimony. Share with someone who might be silently seeking confirmation. And if you feel called to support the creation of these messages, you'll find donation options in the comments. Every little bit keeps this light burning bright for others who need it most. Welcome to a moment of truth in a time of confusion. Not everyone will see what's unfolding, but the ones who do, they're not watching it through a screen. They're feeling it in their bones. This isn't about paranoia. This isn't about fear. This is about your awakening, the spiritual one that doesn't shout, but whispers when the world is loud. Only real humans. Only you will understand. There's a shift that no media outlet can cover. No breaking news banner will broadcast it. But the sky is humming a different note. The synchronicities are speeding up. And deep inside your body, something is aligning with a higher rhythm. This is what they don't want you to notice. Because if you pay attention, if you actually feel this cosmic rearrangement, you'll remember who you are. And that's the most dangerous thing to them. You were trained to chase things outside of you. But what's coming isn't external. It's internal, spiritual, and irreversible. It's the cracking of illusions. The end of distraction. The veils are thinning, and the truth is beginning to leak through the seams of a carefully constructed world. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are tuned in. You are among the few who can still feel what the world has tried to numb. And while others scramble for false security in a world being shaken, you're being guided to walk a different path, not away from the storm, but above it. See, chaos is not the enemy. It is a veil being torn. The structures that once held the illusion together are collapsing, not to destroy you, but to liberate you. The systems, the patterns, the narratives, they're all breaking because truth is no longer something they can bury. The big shift is a divine interruption. It's a crack in the matrix. It's an alarm clock for the souls who've been sleepwalking through their own divinity. And now you're waking up. Not all at once, but deeply, undeniably. You'll begin to notice people revealing their true character, familiar things feeling strangely foreign, moments of déjà vu becoming too precise to dismiss, dreams turning prophetic, time moving like water, bending and stretching around your awareness. These are not random, they are signals, proof that the shift isn't coming, it's already here. But in this shift, you're going to feel lonely sometimes. Because real humans, the ones with uncorrupted souls, we carry a frequency that no longer fits the programmed world. We don't chase what the world says is valuable. We don't fear what the system tells us to fear. We're not perfect, but we're awake. And in a sleeping world, that's a threat. They want you to panic. They want you to believe everything is collapsing without purpose. But hear this, you are not in the middle of destruction. You are in the beginning of divine reconstruction. And if you've made it here, reading this far, feeling this deeply, then you are a seed, planted in the chaos, destined to bloom where others decay. The signs are all around you, but they won't be obvious. They'll be in your feelings. In the way certain things suddenly don't resonate anymore. In the whispers between your thoughts, in the tension before you sleep. This is not your imagination. This is activation. This is your soul hearing the truth in the silence. And the greatest confirmation is not in what you see, but in how you feel when you hear these words. You were meant for this time. This shift was made for you. So if you've been wondering why your connections feel different, why certain friendships no longer feel alive, why you're craving solitude more than ever, you're not becoming cold. You're being cleansed. The shift is doing its work within you. It's stripping away distractions. It's pruning the garden of your spirit, removing every dead branch that once bore false comfort. You are being made ready, not for survival, but for ascension. And the preparation doesn't always feel peaceful. Sometimes it looks like everything is falling apart. But don't be deceived. That's how things appear, right before they come into place. The divine is deconstructing what no longer serves your highest path. Old belief systems are cracking. Outdated mindsets are dissolving. Trauma you thought was buried is surfacing, not to torment you, but to be healed for good. This is the divine detox. And while it feels like loss, it is really a sacred rearrangement. Because the next season of your life cannot be built on old pain. You are shedding layers, not of personality, but of programming. You were not created to chase, compete, or conform. You were created to awaken, align, and embody truth. And the world you were born into does everything it can to make you forget that. But you remembered. And now, the shift is accelerating your awakening. That's why you may feel disoriented. That's why the dreams are more vivid. That's why time sometimes feels like it's melting. That's why you're being pulled to nature, silence, and meaning. Because you are exiting a matrix built on noise. You are entering a realm of clarity. Those around you may not understand. You might try to explain it, and they'll look at you with glazed eyes. Don't let that discourage you. You're not here to convince. You're here to transmit. And real humans feel your frequency, even if they can't define it. It's okay if you've been tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of playing roles. Tired of participating in the endless loops of empty repetition. That's a sign that your soul is detoxing from false timelines. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to break through. To embody a frequency that wakes others from sleep. To walk differently. To speak differently. To love differently. And yes, it's lonely. Because when your soul is upgrading, not everyone can come with you. Some people are tied to the past version of you. Some environments are coded for a lesser you. And this shift is shaking all of that loose. You might feel like you're walking through a void right now. Not quite who you were, but not yet where you're going. This is the sacred in-between. This is the divine pause, where heaven rewrites your path while earth misunderstands your process. Don't fear this season. Don't rush it, because what you're becoming is worth every moment of uncertainty. The world may try to label you, but labels cannot hold what's infinite. And you, chosen one, are infinite in your essence. That's why the world's boxes never fit you. You are being positioned, slowly, carefully, perfectly, not by luck, not by force, but by divine appointment. Let the illusions collapse. Let what is false be revealed, because the truth you carry inside you is rising. And when the shift completes its sweep, when the dust settles, those who once doubted, dismissed, or ignored will wonder how you knew, how you prepared, how you survived while others were still clinging to shadows. But you won't even be focused on that. You'll be too deep in your purpose, too full of the peace you were always meant to carry, because the storm never came to destroy you. It came to reveal what was always indestructible within you. The more you shed what's false, the more clearly you begin to see, not just the systems, but the subtle ways those systems shaped you. The distractions weren't just on your phone, they were in your thoughts, embedded in habits, wired into your nervous system. But now, The signal is breaking through the noise, and your nervous system is remembering something deeper, a rhythm older than the media, a wisdom untouched by algorithms, a truth that cannot be marketed, sold, or weaponized. You are hearing a different call now. It's not loud, but it's unmistakable, a pulse rising through your being, whispering, "This isn't the end. This is the return." Return to what? To realness, to integrity, to presence, to the divine voice within that doesn't scream. It sings. And that's why the noise around you has been increasing. Because the moment you start remembering who you are, every force that fed on your confusion starts to panic. That's the real spiritual war. It's not just good versus evil. It's clarity versus illusion, stillness versus chaos, consciousness versus automation. And you, chosen one, are the anomaly. You were not born to obey. You were born to awaken, to challenge, to question, to look at the world, blink, and realize, this isn't all there is. This isn't all it was meant to be. And that awareness is dangerous to the system, because an awakened soul cannot be controlled. It cannot be manipulated with fear. It cannot be baited into division. It cannot be entertained into submission. That's why you felt the pressure increasing. Not because you're weak, but because you're key. Because the shift depends on certain souls remembering at the right time. And this, right now, is that time. So no, you're not crazy. You're not imagining the strangeness of the world. You're feeling what others are still denying. You're not just watching chaos, you're discerning patterns. You're not just surviving change, you're embodying transformation. There's something inside you that never bowed, never broke. It watched quietly through the years of programming, through the trauma, through the pretending. And now, it's rising. That's why your dreams are coming back. The childhood visions you buried. The creative fire you once called naive. The bold inner voice that once whispered, "I was made for something more." That wasn't fantasy. That was memory. You're remembering what the world worked so hard to make you forget. Your light, your gift, your power, your divine inheritance. That's why you're not just observing this shift. You're feeling it in your bones. You're no longer numb. You're no longer asleep. You're awake. And more importantly, you're willing. Willing to walk alone if needed. Willing to choose peace over popularity. Willing to protect your energy, your time, and your vision. Willing to unplug from the game, even if it means being misunderstood. Because you finally realize, nothing matters more than alignment. Nothing feels more sacred than truth. And nothing feels more freeing than no longer needing to explain yourself. This shift is not about escaping the world. It's about transforming your presence within it. Not by force, not by fear, but by frequency. You are the signal in the static, the clarity in the storm, the messenger others didn't know they were waiting for. And the message is simple. It's not too late, but it is time. Time to rise. Time to return. Time to remember. The time of passive waiting is over. There is a fire now in your spirit that cannot be extinguished. A deep knowing that you were born for this moment. You feel it when you close your eyes. You feel it when you disconnect from the noise. And you feel it in the silence between thoughts. That you are being prepared for something far greater than anything the world has ever offered you before. This shift isn't just about waking up from illusion. It's about stepping into position, into your soul's rightful place in this divine unraveling and rewiring. not as a spectator, but as a builder, not as a consumer, but as a creator. That's what they fear the most. Because once you remember who you are, you stop asking for permission. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop molding yourself to fit within a system that was never designed to support your liberation. And now you're seeing through it, not with bitterness, but with clarity, not with vengeance, but with vision. You realize this system can collapse, and still you will rise. Why? Because your wealth doesn't come from paper. It comes from purpose. Your power doesn't come from titles. It comes from truth. And your safety doesn't come from structures. It comes from the strength that God Himself has rooted in your soul. You are not behind. You are not late. You were hidden, and now you are being revealed. It's why things had to fall apart the way they did. It's why people left, why doors closed, why you were forced to sit alone in the darkest seasons of your life, so that when the world started turning upside down, you would already be grounded in the one thing that can't be shaken, your divine connection to Source. You are not going crazy, you're going deeper. You're not breaking down, you're breaking free. Let the world call you strange. Let them laugh. Let them doubt. Let them scroll past. But you, stay rooted. Stay clear. Because there are others out there, just like you. Souls who feel this frequency and are quietly coming alive. Your presence activates them. Your courage gives them permission. Your words unlock something ancient in their DNA. This is how we rise, not in the spotlight, but in the stillness. Not through force, but through alignment. The great shift is not coming, it's happening. And you are the bridge between what was and what is becoming. You are the womb of a new timeline, a living portal for change. So keep walking, chosen one, with grace in your step and fire in your voice. Don't panic in the chaos, that's what they want. Remain unshaken, remain sovereign, because you're not just surviving this storm. You are the storm. And your arrival was never a coincidence. It was always prophetic. Now breathe, stand tall, and move forward like the shift has already happened. Because within you, it already has.